Hi, this is Reese reporting from Nashoba Valley Technical High School and bringing to you your Republicans Report, which is an inside look on the Republican Party and the presidential candidate Mitt Romney. Before we start with Mitt Romney, we're going to give you a brief history of the Republican Party.
History of the Republican Party. The Republican Party is known as GOP form, is the earlier name of the Grand Old Party. Republican strength came from New England and the Midwest. After World War II, it greatly increased in the Sun Belt states and the West. It believes that less government is a better government, and also believes that the government should only get involved if the person is incapable of helping him or herself. The stimulus for its funding was provided by the passage of the Kansas-Nebraska Act of 1854.
Now that we've learned more about the Republican Party, let's switch gears and focus on our candidate, Mitt Romney.
William Mitt Romney, born March 12, 1947 in Detroit, Michigan, raised in Bloomfield Hills, Mass. 70th Governor of Massachusetts, in office January 2, 2003 through January 4, 2007. Capitalist private equity, religion The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Now that we know who our candidate is, let's find out where he stands on some of the important issues in this year's election.
Get rid of funding for Planned Parenthood. Would support legislation aimed at providing greater protections for life. Restrict abortion in one way through an executive order banning U.S. foreign aid money to be used for abortion.
When I ran for governor, I believed I could keep the law as it was. I said I'd keep the law as it was. Then when I became governor, a piece of legislation came to my desk which would have led to the creation of new life for the purposes of destroying it. And I simply couldn't sign it. And I met with my staff and said, look, I've got to write why I have changed my view in this regard. It was one thing to talk about it philosophically. It's another thing as governor to sign a piece of legislation that will take human life. I wrote that op-ed while I was governor and became pro-life, and I continue to be pro-life.
Romney's position on the issue LGBT has changed throughout his career. As of 1994, he was supportive of the LGBT movement's cause early in his political career, especially during his campaign for the Massachusetts Senate seat in 1994. He wrote a letter to the club members to the Log Cabin Club saying this: I am pleased to have the opportunity to talk with you and to meet many of you personally during your September meeting. I learned a great deal from those discussions and many thoughtful questions you posed. As a result of our discussions and other interactions with gay and lesbian voters across the state, I am more convinced than ever that, as we seek to establish full equality for America's gay and lesbian citizens, I will provide more effective leadership than my opponent. Romney currently opposes legal recognition of the same-sex marriage and says it should be banned with a constitutional amendment not left to states. Marriage is not an activity that goes on within the walls of a state. Also opposes civil unions if they are identical to marriage other than by name, but says states should be left to decide what rights and benefits should be allowed under those unions. Says certain domestic partnership benefits, largely unspecified, as well as hospital visitation rights are appropriate, but others are not.
I said I believe that marriage is a relationship between one man and one woman. And that position has not changed. I read now and then that I've changed my mind on gay rights. Simply not true. I am in favor of gay rights, but I believe marriage is a relationship between a man and a woman.
Romney will begin by returning states to their proper place in charge of regulating local insurance, markets, and caring for the poor, uninsured, and chronically ill.
He believes in no constitutional rights for foreign terrorism suspects. In 2007, he refused to rule out the use of waterboarding to interrogate terrorist suspects. In 2011, his campaign said that he does not consider waterboarding to be torture. Mitt Romney is a supporter of the use of the Guantanamo Bay facility to hold prisoners. During the debate in South Carolina, Romney stated that he wanted prisoners held in Guantanamo and that doubling the size of the facility could be justified if the need existed.
Romney plans to implement a national immigration strategy that bolsters the U.S. economy. will make foreign-born residents with advanced degrees able to start companies, create jobs, and drive innovation at a high rate, secure our borders, and discourage illegal immigration.
In conclusion of the Republican report, we hope that we have educated our viewers to gain an understanding of the Republican Party and the presidential candidate Mitt Romney. For Nashoba Valley Technical High School, I'm Rebecca Reese.